Hi guys, what's up? My name is Lolo Cynthia and welcome to Lolo's Diary. When I was much younger, I used to be so ashamed because my panties always had this. Yeah, I know, and I was like, what in the heaven's name is this? And I would wash the panties and hide them because I didn't want anyone to see this. Because in my mind, I thought that this was unhygienic. It made me dirty because, like, you know, people are like, what is coming out of your vagina that looks like this? Why is it bleaching your panties? Until back when I was in varsity, I think this was early years in varsity, and I went to see a friend of mine in her room, and guess what? She had panties that looked like this, and I think she hid it in a way because it was squeezed in a cupboard somewhere. Then it dawned on me that I'm not the only lady that has these kind of panties, and after a while I began to notice that other ladies had panties like this, and these are things I probably did not recognize back then, but because it was now registered somewhere at the back of my mind that okay, you might not be the only lady, then I began to see it every other place. But for women, this is actually normal. This doesn't mean that you're dirty, because there's a set of shame and stigma associated with us talking about sexual health, and most especially talk about things that come out of us. It's, you know, it's a bit like, let's not talk about it, but we do have to talk about it. This stain in your panties, this bleach, is something like reddish brownish, depends on the panties. It's very normal, it's very healthy. It's an indicator that your vagina is actually functioning and it's very healthy. It's caused due to the vaginal discharge that is, that comes out from our vagina. The vaginal discharge is quite acidic. The pH balance is 3.8 to 4.5 depending on the person, and that is quite acidic on the scale, and the acid that comes from it is what bleaches your vagina. There's a good bacteria that comes out from your vagina. It's called lactobacilli. I hope I pronounced it. I'm going to put the name right here for you guys to see. It's called lactobacilli. This bacteria actually helps regulate the pH balance of the vagina to make sure that it's quite normal, and it also is what helps us prevent things like trust and bacterial vaginitis. And these are the things that normally, if you did not have a good pH balance or a good vaginal discharge, you'll be susceptible to different infections. So when you see this on your panties, do not be scared. It's actually a good thing. Seems weird, right? It's actually a good thing to have. There are ways to sort of reduce it or prevent it from actually bleaching your panties. We don't really like to see this, regardless of if we know that it's healthy or not. No one likes walking around with panties that are brown, that isn't so appealing to the eyes. What you can do to reduce this is first use panty liners. Panty liners are like those mini sanitary pads. You put them on your panties whenever you know that you're going to be having quite heavy vaginal discharge, maybe during your cycle, close to ovulation or close to when you're about to have your period. You can put that there because I use it a lot. I don't like feeling moist down there. It makes me feel very dirty and uncomfortable, so I use vagina and panty liners to make sure that my panties stay clean. Also, try and reduce the amount of black panties you have. It seems weird because I love black panties, so many of us love black panties. It goes with almost everything, but black panties are the panties that you're going to see a lot of bleaching. If you use other colors, it's not so much. Also, do not store panties. So many of us ladies, we like to take off our panties, store them, then wash them together. Sometimes I'm guilty, but it's not good because once you leave your panties there, the vaginal discharge actually dries on it and increases the rate at which it bleaches. So if you take off your panties, make sure you rinse it off immediately to ensure that the vaginal discharge leaves your vagina. I would like to talk about more issues like this. I feel like it's something that many of us, we want to know, but sometimes we're lazy to search, and sometimes we just want information out there. So if you want me to talk about other sexual related issues, women issues, just drop your comments down. I will definitely take a look at it, and if it's something I can do, I will speak on it. If it's something that I need an expert on, I'm definitely going to speak on it. I think by next week or in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to talk about the birth control that I'm using at the moment. I told you guys that I got an implant last year. I did a video on it. I'm going to attach the link there, but I had to change from an implant. The side effects were not so good for me, and I got something else, and I've been using it for I think for the past 7-8 months, and it's perfect for me. So I'm going to talk about that. Drop your comments. I want to know the things you want me to talk about, and I will talk about it. I hope now you no longer be ashamed of your panties. Women, so many of us, before I even wrap this up, we wash our panties And because we are ashamed of this, or because we've been told that don't hang your panties outside, you'll cover it. You know that shame that we have in this Nigeria and Africa. You wash it and you dry it in your bathroom. There is no air, there is no sun. That is the reason for so many women who have infections. Please go and speak to doctors. Many of the times they tell you that this is actually the cause of it. We do not let air touch our panties and we wear it again. So you need to be able to go out whenever you wash your panties, dry it outside sometimes for the sun to touch it, because it helps a lot in terms of hygiene. You know, down there it gets quite, because of the heat in Nigeria and all that, the heat, and it can be moist, and when it's moist it can foster bad bacteria. So you just want to make sure that you're ensuring that you're drying it in a place that it's actually getting great ventilation. Well, that's all I have for today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to see you next week. Do not forget to subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video if you liked it, and share the video to other people, to women as well, for them to know more about things that concern them. Thank you so much for watching it. I'm going to see you next week. Bye bye.